Oh, welcome to auction number 14, where we'll concentrate on some loose items. This is take 2. So the first video I got halfway through, and then I get one of these bloody spam calls. And I didn't put myself in a do not disturb mode before, so yeah. Anyway, we have a look. The first item is this Batmobile. So it's the sort of one I remember playing with as a kid, except I think it was red there, it wasn't blue. Definitely play worn. I do like play worn, obviously. You can see it's only got Malaysia, it's not made in Malaysia. So I do think that means it's pre-1992, before the Thailand factory opened. And I'd like to start this at 10 Rand. The next item is this fantasy car by Hot Wheels. You can definitely see it was sort of based on Lamborghini. It's called the Punk Rocker. One of those that was really made for the tracks, for the Hot Wheel tracks. You can see from the front, definitely, you can see some Lamborghini influence there. Nice broad tyres. So it should run well on the tracks. So this one's back to made in Malaysia. So I'd like to start this one off on 5 Rand. Next item is this 1970 CHEVELLE SS. Because this is one of the Fast and Furious cars coming out of a 5-back. I'll show you how I know it's out of a 5-back soon. Very nice colour to it. Nice and weighty. We know it's out of a 5-back because it is made in Indonesia. All 5-backs are done in Indonesia, as well as the Super Treasure Hunts. I'm not so sure on the Treasure Hunts themselves. Don't know the Super Treasure Hunts 5-backs is done in Malaysia. That's Hot Wheels' newest factory. I think they opened about 2018. And apart from that, you've got your Malaysia, which is the oldest one. I think next was Thailand. If you look at the cars from Thailand, etc., they've got bit more detail and better paint jobs. But they mainly do like the 20 packs, and I think the premium cars are done in Thailand. Anyway, I'd like to start this one off on 15 Rand. Next item is this Meister Bel-Air. I'm sure it's one that was bought down here in South Africa, but you can feel that, very tinny, not very solid, as opposed to the American or international Meisters, which is branded under, I think it's either Action Force, Adventure Force. So this one I'd like to start him on 5 Rand. So the next item is one of these American Meisters, international Meisters. I can feel it's got a lot more weight to it, not nearly as tinny. I'll probably pull the part, big scratchy. I'll probably pull the part of 5-back or something to get something out of this. This one in particular is called the LEADFOOT. I'd like to start this one off on R5. Next item is this Greenwood Chevy. Look, I think Greenwood is involved at Pikes Peak. So the car itself has got a really nice paint job. In front over there it's got the plastic headlights as opposed to the moulded ones. It's a really nice paint job. So I'd like to start this one off on 10 Rand. Next item would be this Toyota CELICA. Nice wide body if you look at it from the front over there. Nice wide body. Quite make out what it says over there. There's your CELICA badge. Well, I think it's pronounced CELICA anyway. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. Hokkaido House, is that what it says here maybe? I can't make it out, sorry. Nice paint job. Difficult to read it at the bottom with the silver bases. But this one I'd like to start it off on 15 Rand. Next item is this fast bed hauler. They bring it out quite often, different livery on it. It's quite a common casting. It was a treasure hunt at one stage. I do think I've got it with the loose ones I'm selling at a later stage. Anyways, I'd like to start this one off on 10 Rand. Next car is one that was done, a concept fantasy car that was done for Hot Wheels' 50th anniversary. So you got the HW on this side. The car itself is called the HW50. On the other side you've got your 50. Yes, HW50. Made in Indonesia, so it definitely came from a five pack probably of their 50th celebration, and I took something out. I'd like to start this one on 5 Rand. Next item is this Dodge Charger from Majorette. I still don't think Majorette gets the recognition they should for their cars. And look, it's got some great shocks to it. You do quite a bit of bounce over it. The bonnet opens up. You can actually remove the whole bonnet. It's a matte purple colour. Like I say, not big in South Africa and not big in the US, but huge in Europe, especially mainland Europe or mainland Europe. I'd like to start this one off on 10 Rand. Next we come to another Meister, one of the better mainlines from Meister again. More than likely bought it in the US as opposed to here. I say not very tinny, nice and solid. Great paint job. I read what it says. This is the Nissan 280ZX. Nice headlights, tail lights. Sorry, it's a Datsun, not a Nissan. My bad. Look, this Master from overseas compared to the ones that we get over here in the crazy store is very different. So I'd like to start this one off on 5 Rand and see what happens. Next is one of these long minis from I think it's King Toy. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is. Whoever I bought this from definitely had, it was probably a collection I bought, or definitely a collection I bought, had a bit of a mini fetish. Look, it has got rubber tires. It is pretty solid, you know, quite weighty. I think it's slightly bigger than 1:64. And it's pullback action. Can't say I know much about the company itself. But look, it's a nice little thing. So I'd like to start him off on 5 Rand. The next item is probably one of the castings, one of the longest running castings from Hot Wheels. It's the Bone Shaker. So they're quite well sought after in the US and grabbed up quite quickly. Probably because of how long it's been in, how many different decal they have, livery that they have on it. So it's quite collectible over there. I'm not sure what the market for it is like over here. But they do look forward to their bone shakers in the US. So I'd like to start him off on 10 Rand. Next car was probably mass produced in the millions, because this was one you got with a Happy Meal. Look, for a Happy Meal toy, it's very heavy, very nice, not the plastic rubbish they got nowadays. Although millions were made, I don't think there are many that survived. They came out with every single Happy Meal at one stage. So they were made for McT Corporation 2004. I doubt we would have seen it over here as a Happy Meal toy. More than likely just in the US. Anyway, I'd like to start this one on 5 Rand. So the next we have a very nice one from Majorette again. This time it is the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Again, like I say, I just don't think Majorette gets the sort of appreciation that it should. Even their cars, when you come to their premium cars are very, very good. And I say probably even better than the quality of the Hot Wheels. I mean, this is just normal mainline. And you can look at the shocks, etc. on it. Definitely better than the Hot Wheels Matchbox mainline vehicles. Anyway, I'd like to start this one off on 10 Rand. Next we have one of these strange ones again. At the bottom it just says China. Look, it's a pretty heavy car. Definitely metal on metal casting on a plastic base. Definitely looks like it might be like a Hummer. All it says at the bottom is China. So I'd like to start him on R5. Next item is this. Well, I'm actually not sure what the make of the car is, but it is the Joker from the Batman series. Look, and I've got the Penguin and one or two others as well. Definitely came out of a 5-back I pulled apart, but one of the older 5-backs. So pre-Indonesia. Lovely colour to it. Let's see if we can see what sort of car it is, if it tells us. It doesn't even tell us what sort of car it is. It's called Sofan. Is that possibly the name of it? Very nice looking car. I'd like to start him off on R10. So the next car is probably the pick for this auction. That's Datsun 620. Very nice, very clean. Definitely came out of a 5-back. I pulled apart. You can see they're made in Indonesia. Very nice. Make out Datsun there at the back. So I'd like to start him on R15. So the next item is one of these minis again from Toy, I think. This time not the rally version, just the British flag on the roof. Looks like it's missing a bumper in front. That's a rubber toys, pullback. So I'd like to start him on R5. Next we have one of the Hot Wheels fantasy cars called the Scorcher, definitely play worn. Looking at it from the front, it might be slightly based on a GTR or something. I think this might be one of those, a nice one to sort of play around with a bit. If you, restore or redo. Just says Malaysia, so this would have been somewhere in the 90s, before the Thailand factory opened, so 80s to 90s. We'll start him off on R5. So this car really shows what Meister can actually do if they really want to. Again, this is definitely no South African Meister, American, whatever, yeah, definitely. I mean, just look at this color and speckle paint. This one is called the Slayer, or Slayer. The camera doesn't do justice. It's a very, very nice looking car. Because it's Master, I'd like to start him on £5. Next car is one of these fantasy cars that was made for the tracks, the Hot Wheel tracks. Definitely a track car. It's called the LINDSTAR. See-through orange. Not sure what the 20 means. If we look underneath over there, you see this symbol over here. It shows that it was made for their tracks. Find it pretty cool, really, but we're starting on £5. Next we get into the Meister construction vehicles. This one is metal cab, the rest of it plastic. No real detail on it. The bucket does lift. Nice and neat, nice and clean. I think we're starting on £5. Next item is this RENAULT TWINGO from Majorette. Very neat, very clean. TWINGO, sorry, I thought it was a TWINGO. TWINGO. Nice little city car. I'd like to start him on £10. Next we have the twin mill. Look, I think this is actually the longest running cast that Hot Wheels uses. It's the twin mill. Also very collectible in the US because it's been running for such a long time. So many different variants on it. This one's just Hot Wheels 68. You can see, there it goes, this twin mill Gen E, so meant to be the electric version of the twin mill. So I'd like to start him on £10. Next we have this Dodge Charger from Hot Wheels. Nice flame, nice speckle paint. Out for a 5-pack, that's why it looks so good. Made in Indonesia. So I'd like to start him off on £10. So next is another Hot Wheels Fantasy. I've seen him in a couple of colours. I think they actually call him the Mantis. Because if you look at him from the front over, he looks like a praying mantis. Underneath it doesn't give an actual name for it. I'm sure it was called something like the Mantis at one stage. No, I'd like to start him off on £5. So next is a fantasy cast, and it's been used a couple of times as well, called the MACH Speeder. I know it was in Hot Wheels Fire Department or Police Department at one stage as well. I'm not sure what that team is. Is it one of the designers? I've seen it on other cars, that Dima. I would like to start this one 5 rand. So next we have another Mini. This time it's also a company I've never heard of, called Play Art. Definitely play worn. A little bit larger than 1:64, I think. Austin Mini Cooper, made in Hong Kong. It says Play Art. Never heard of it. But it definitely looks like it's 70s or 80s. I'd like to start this one 5. Next item is another one that's popular in the US called the NASH. I know that a car like this does actually exist. Whether this was based on that car or that car was based on this, I'm not sure. I think if you go to YouTube and you look for the NASH, you'll probably find it. It's come out in a couple of other colors. I'd like to start him on 10 rand. Next we have this, it's called the Formula Flashback. Definitely based on some of the older Formula 1 cars. I think it's a pretty nice casting. And again, I'm a big Formula 1 fan. And just underneath over there, you can see it says Formula Flashback somehow. I'd like to start him on 10 rand. So for those of you that don't know what to do with your money when you're not buying cars, here's an option. It's called the clip rod. It actually lifts up over there, so it's a clip for banknotes. I think clips are very popular, yeah. I'd like to start this one at 5 rand. Next is this Mercedes from MIATA. Definitely play worn. Look, I've seen a Beetle like this as well, where it actually doesn't have any rubber. So I have been led to believe that they didn't come out with rubber on their tyres. So definitely very play worn. And this in particular is a Mercedes SL55 AMG. And we're going to start him on 5 rand. So the next item is one of these RENAULT signature cars. This is called a MIATA, the MX-5 MIATA. Definitely an art car. So mad marker as well. You go to R out there for RENAULT, yeah, RYU. So I'd like to start him off on 10 rand. So next we have this item from the NASCAR truck series, done by Hot Wheels obviously. Nice car itself. Nice and heavy, nice and solid. And this one is called the Circle Trucker. I like to start him off on 15 Rand. Next we have another fantasy from Hot Wheels. This time it's called the CYBERSPEED as opposed to the MACH Speeder. I think it's pretty similar to the MACH Speeder if you ask me. Part of the Hot Wheels Police Department. I like to start him at 5 Rand. Next we have another one of these Toy minis, this time in black. See the rally version again. Not much I can say about it. Pretty solid. Rubber tires. Pullback action. I like to start him on 5 Rand. Here's another one I'm sort of expecting a bit of excitement about. That doesn't have a name at the bottom. Let's have a closer look, but it looks like a DATSUN 510 to me. Nice speckle paint. All I say that is if you look at the front over there. Big white wall tires. Can't quite make out what it says over there. Nice speckled flame purple. Made in Indonesia, so definitely comes out of a 5-pack. So I don't see an actual name for it, but to me it definitely looks like a Datsun. I definitely think like the Datsun 510. So I'd like to start him off on 15. Next item is by MIATA. It's called the Speed Boost. Definitely a little bit thinner. I like to start him on 5. Next item is this little golfie, but please don't get excited. So this is plastic on plastic. It's obviously had a bit of a custom job on it. You can see there, Muscle Bay, Goldwagen, front size, pit stop 219. So I take it was sort of definitely, it's broken at the back. It was definitely customized for someone in particular. I don't see a brand on it, just made in, it is a MIATA. But definitely plastic on plastic, VW Golf GT1. I'm sure someone would like it, but it's definitely, like I say, it's definitely not a great car. Anyway, thank you.